Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of our 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise on the Disney Fantasy. It is a beautiful day at sea. It is our first full day at sea. The waves are still a little bit rocky this morning, and yes, I am still suffering from a little bit of seasickness. I'm hoping to find my sea legs today. I do not want to be skipping any more meals, and with that in mind, we are shortly going to head up to Cabanas. Spoiler alert, Ross has already been up for breakfast. I did need a little bit extra time this morning just to get those sea legs and get myself ready to go and try and eat something. What did you get up to this morning?
As you said, I went to Cabanas. I had some breakfast. I had some scrambled eggs, some sausages, some bacon, Mickey waffle and a chocolate croissant. What I will say is the scrambled eggs are phenomenal, so you should try that out. After that I went up into the upper decks and had a wee look about the mini golf, look at the basketball court, and generally just walked about the top of the ship. Get blown off my feet almost a few times, but yeah, it was a good wee adventure for myself.
Our Navigator app updated this morning. There's loads of activities that I'm really excited to try today. That said, I don't know about you, but I'm not planning on making any plans at the moment because I haven't been feeling that great this morning. I think I'm just going to take this sea day as it comes, and if it's a case of lying all day on the pool deck watching movies in the funnel vision, then that's still better than pretty much any day at home. So I'm going to go in search of some Mickey waffles, some bacon. I'm going to eat Mickey waffles every single day.
And scrambled eggs.
And I'll try these scrambled eggs. I feel like there's a whole theme on Disney Cruise Line of people massively hyping up food. First we had the massive hype of the chicken tenders, and now Ross is like really selling these eggs, so it's going to be very interesting to find out if they're as good as he says he is. And I'm keeping one eye on the waves outside as well. I will say this morning I went out, I woke up maybe around 5:30 and I did go outside onto the balcony. It was super windy and the waves were still kind of crashing about a little bit, but I did get to see the sun come up. It was just the most amazing experience, seasickness or no seasickness. It was the most incredible thing to view. So some of those amazing cruise experiences are already happening, but my stomach is rumbling. Let's go to Cabanas. one clue whether you can hear us or not, but we are here at the top deck of the Disney Fantasy. I have finished breakfast. I managed to eat about half of my breakfast, and now we are going to be on the move because I find being out here in this wind and constantly on the move does actually help. So we are going to go on a bit of a tour of the ship and just generally explore. So we're up here in the top deck. I think Ross filmed some of this when it was a little bit quieter earlier. But we are right in the midst of the mini golf course. So we're going to take you around and let's go and explore. If ever you thought watching the channel, if you had a regular viewing of the channel and you ever thought the footage was shaky before, wait till you see me walking around the ship when it's rocking and it's windy. I hope no viewers at home suffer from seasickness, but if you do, we're all in this together, guys. Okay, we've come down to deck 4. This is where the running, walking track, or for us, leisurely strolling track is. So we're going to take a walk around this. A little bit of Disney magic. Pluto has just been jogging around the jogging track. Sadly I wasn't fast enough to get that on camera. But let us go and see things from down here. Interestingly, well not interestingly, this should be obvious, we can definitely feel the movement of the ship a lot more down here than we could up on deck 14, so it'll be interesting to see how we survive this walk around. We are rocking and rolling down here on deck 4. So yeah, it is very like a roller coaster down here. But this is a good little walk around. You can see some of the more kind of inner workings of the ship. It's very interesting, and lots of people making use of the jogging track. Fair play to anyone who enjoys exercising while on vacation, or indeed at any time. As you know, I enjoy neither. The benches are included in the price of your cruise. So we're going to make you something. So I've been here for about 3 minutes and I've decided that deck 4 is definitely the place to be for a couple of reasons. This is where the shuffleboard is. Now I don't know how to play shuffleboard, I'm not entirely sure what shuffleboard is, but but I know that I associate it with ships and cruises, so we'll have to learn that and we'll have to play that. So this is where the shuffleboard is. This feels very much like the kind of traditional promenade style deck that you think of when you think about cruise ships. And while I have said that it is rocking and rolling down here, and it's a little bit more challenging to walk and feel yourself staggering a little bit more down here. That being said, this is the one deck that I've been on so far that I do not feel sick. So I don't know if there's probably science to that, and there's probably someone watching this who is thinking, how ridiculous are we that we don't know these things? But we are first time cruisers and we don't know these things, but definitely feel a lot more queasy on the upper decks. But down here on deck 4, while the ship has moved, like feels like it's moving an awful lot more, I don't feel queasy at all.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and plus it has this nice bench and we can just sit here and the sea is very blue. It's just very nice. Nice breeze. It's a beautiful day here at sea. Do you have anything to add to that?
I think you summed that up.
One thing I have noticed almost immediately is how they are continuously taking care of the ship. Every deck we've been on, there are crew members out cleaning things, painting, just doing general maintenance on the ship, and every single crew member that we pass makes a point of saying good morning, smiling. It's just absolutely fantastic service. It's just such a nice place to be, feeling queasy or not. So it is a little after 2 p.m. We have had a very leisurely, very lovely morning just exploring the ship, a little bit of the afternoon as well. What have we been up to? What have we been up to? I'll ask the voice lounging on the bed over there. But we have been down to deck 4. We spent a good portion of time just wandering around deck 4, just hanging out there on the loungers and literally watching the world go by in terms of the joggers go by. And lots of people very enthusiastic and very committed to their exercise regime. We did watch several people lap as well. We continued to lie on the padded loungers, so you can tell there's very different types of cruisers on this ship. Also went to our very first trivia, so we went down to the Tube in the nighttime district and we took part in Marvel trivia. 15 out of 20. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. I was very pleased with my 15 out of 20. Particularly pleased with my answer of Vormir. If you know, you know. So we went to our trivia. We then went up and had some lunch in Cabanas. It was really interesting to see the lunchtime. It was a lot less chaotic than it was yesterday at lunchtime, with it being embarkation day yesterday. There was a lot more space to move around, lots and lots of tables available, and we were in there around about probably just after 12 o'clock for lunch. And lots of different options today. They had some Indian food today. They had some lovely pork loin steaks, which I had for my lunch. And they've always got those staples of your chicken tenders, mac and cheese, fries, all that kind of stuff. So we enjoyed a little bit of lunch. We have then sat up on the pool deck for a little while. I think my first instinct tells me that the deck 11 and deck 12 pool areas, probably not my speed. Certainly not while something's on funnel vision. It was just a little bit loud, but it is very windy up on deck today as well, so that probably wasn't the most relaxing, but it was a good experience just sitting out there and seeing what the atmosphere's like out there. And then we grabbed some quick snacks in the form of some chocolate chip cookies and brought them back to the room. And amongst all that, we've just been doing some general wandering around the ship, a lot of lounging about every time we see a bench or a lounger, and that's what we've been up to today. Quick update on the travel sickness situation. What I have learned so far, I feel much better down in the lower deck, so outside on deck 4 is where I've probably felt the best. A little bit woozy in the tube, which is also on deck 4, but that's indoors. Where I seem to be struggling the most is kind of on our deck. When I'm sitting in the room, it kind of comes in waves. You have to forgive the pun. I had no way to go except make that pun, but it does come in waves when I'm inside the room. Cabanas seems to be the toughest place for me at the moment, which is a shame because I'm probably not taking advantage of the buffet in the way I would have if that wasn't the case. That's probably not a bad thing. It's probably not a bad thing that I'm not eating 7 courses of buffet meals every time I go in there. It does, however, make me a little bit nervous for dinner tonight because we are due to eat an animator's palette tonight, and that is the one that I am most excited about going to. So I'm hoping by that time I'll have started to feel a little bit better, but I definitely do notice the difference. The upper decks seem to be a lot tougher, lower decks a little bit easier, and especially if I'm sitting outside, if I can see the ocean outside. So I'll keep you posted on that. Not that I think anybody's particularly interested in what level of seasickness I am feeling at any given time, but we are first time cruisers. Someone watching might be a first time cruiser, and it's just to give you an idea of what you might expect when you're on the ship for the first time. So we'll keep you posted on how things are going over the next few days, and hopefully sea legs will kick in and we'll stop feeling quite so queasy. Ross, how are you doing over there?
Perfectly good. One update from last night's brief visit to the restaurant. We did get a table ourselves.
Yes, that's a good point. So we did go to the Royal Court last night. We went inside. It was mostly as I was walking through the door and just about to get seated, I realised quite quickly I wasn't going to be able to eat and I wasn't going to be able to sit in the restaurant, but we did notice that we did have a table to ourselves. So that looks pretty good for tonight for Animator's Palette. So up next, we're just taking a little bit of time in the room, we're just getting freshened up and just taking a little bit of time to chill, and then we are going to head back down to the tube and we are going to take part in Disney Parks trivia. Now, here's the thing, I've already said this to Ross. If we were taking part in a Disney Parks trivia anywhere else in the world and amongst normal people, we'd probably smash that. We're not amongst normal people, we're amongst Disney people, Disney adults, and this could get fierce at this particular trivia. I think I'm pretty solid on my Walt Disney World trivia. I'm probably okay on Disneyland Paris trivia. Oh, I'll get a bit sketchy when it comes to Disneyland in California. So it has brought out the competitive streak, I have to say. That the first trivia game downstairs, I could tell immediately I will go to every trivia session that's on, as long as I think I might be able to win it. So that'll be an interesting new side of me that's coming out on this cruise. Okay, we have some good news and we have some bad news. The good news is I currently do not feel seasick. The bad news is that has been replaced by shame, because boldly, I think, I decided to participate in the Marvel Advanced Trivia. I couldn't just stay for Disney Parks Trivia, which I excel at. No, I had to go to Advanced Marvel Trivia, where we got 8 questions correct out of 20. And some of them were, quite frankly, by accident. So I will no longer be leaving the stateroom, because people have marked that quiz and they know that I wrote down some truly terrible answers, and if I run into them at dinner, that'll be truly embarrassing. So yeah, we did get 15 at the parks trivia. We were stumped by a couple, I'm not going to lie. We learned some things. Yes, trivia is definitely continuing to be very quickly one of my favourite things on board, but it's making me hyper competitive. So quick pit stop back at the room. We're going to get changed. It's formal night this evening. Formal night on the Disney Cruise Line is optional, so you can get dressed up if you want to. You can get medium dressed up, which is probably closer to my speed, or you can just dress in your normal cruise wear. And Ross is holding me up there because
yeah, it's the only way we can actually stand still.
we continue to rock and roll here on board the Disney Fantasy. Everyone in the tube was swaying backwards and forwards, and that was without any music or alcohol, in fact. And if you would like to know what this feels like, imagine being in a tumble dryer on a low setting. I would imagine it's a lot like that. So I'm going to go and attempt to take a shower in these kind of conditions. Did you enjoy trivia?
I did. It was a lot of fun, even though they were bad at the advanced one, but still I wasn't expecting to be good at that.
I have learned that, having seen all the Marvel movies, I clearly have paid very little attention to the Marvel movies. But in my defence, they were mostly Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Thor, my 3 least favourites. They couldn't throw me a Captain America question. Just a Captain America question? That's something I'm going to go, because I'm not going to go over this anytime soon.
No, it's not.
So it's a few years later, we're all changed, we're kind of dressed up, we're dressed up for us, and we've just been in to see Aladdin. What did you think of the show?
I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting it to be that good. I thought Genie was very good.
Genie was so good and so funny. So many jokes, and even some jokes that you knew were going over a few people's heads as well. But there were some great references and great jokes in there. It was a really interesting experience sitting in a theatre watching a live show and feeling the boat, the ship I should say, move underneath us. So that was really fun. Yeah, the show was spectacular, such a great quality, loads of great special effects. We couldn't film in it when you're not allowed to film, as it should be. We wouldn't want to ruin anybody else's experience by filming anyway, but it is a great show. If that's the kind of quality, the live entertainment that we're going to see on this cruise, we're going to have such a good time.
I think so.
And I even refrained from singing along when they sang Whole New World. I did not break into song, which I thought was a great courtesy to everyone.
I'm not sure, I think I have to.
I did not sing.
Really?
I will later, but I did not sing. So it's almost just over an hour, or just under an hour till dinner time. We had an animator's palette tonight, which I am super excited about. This is the restaurant I've been most looking forward to, and it is a very cool experience just seeing formal night. As I said earlier, it is optional, you don't have to wear formal wear, and we're seeing a wide variety of everything from people in full tuxedos and ball gowns to kind of semi-formal dress and pretty dresses. A lot of the kids have been to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique as well. It's super cute. So we're going to go explore a little, we'll hang around the lobby for a little bit, see what's happening there, and then we will go in for dinner before we go off exploring. Since it's not often that I do wear a dress, I'm going to get Ross to capture the dress. Do my princess twirl. Because I am who I am, in case you haven't been able to see that on camera, it is a Disney themed dress. I am wearing an Alice in Wonderland dress, and hopefully you can see my little cruise line bow, keeping it themed, As it's formal night, 2 amazing things have just happened. First and foremost, A man has just handed me a beverage. I have no idea what it is. It doesn't matter. I'm on cruise lifestyle right now. And the other magical thing that has just happened, Captain Mickey himself has just walked out into the atrium. He's over there greeting guests in his captain outfit. Disney magic. So we're just having a little seat in the Vista Cafe. Well, we just take in the atmosphere around the lobby just now and enjoy the delicious beverage that was handed out. Because it is the welcome reception for formal evening, and they are handing out complimentary beverages and they're walking around greeting people. You can also go downstairs and meet all the officers, mingle, get to know the captain, get to talk to members of the crew who are all in their formal attire as well. So it's just a really quite special night. It's a really nice atmosphere. Thought we'd tell you a little bit about the scheduling for the shows. So typically there will be 2 shows to coincide with the early and late dining schedule. So because we're on the late dining, we would get to go to the 6 PM show, and then there'll be a later show for anybody on the 5:45 dining. So it's all a kind of really well-oiled machine, making sure that nobody misses out on those big shows. And it's been a pretty good night so far. I'm still not over my trivia losses earlier, I'm not going to lie. What that basically means is as soon as we land back in the UK, we're going to have to watch every Marvel movie that has ever been made and take notes as punishment for failing the trivia. It's just the way it is. Out here in the atrium is where you can also find the majority of the characters, and they do appear to be in different outfits on any given day depending on what the theme of the day is. Today they are all out in their formal attire. We did see Goofy downstairs in his tuxedo earlier. As I said earlier, Mickey is in his captain's outfit. Those are the only 2 we've spotted so far. We've seen a couple of princesses roaming about today. If you are a regular viewer of the vlog, you know that we don't tend to wait in line to meet characters. My social anxiety and awkwardness could never. It has to be really quite a spontaneous jump in for a meet and greet. So I probably won't wait in line for any of the characters, but I do have to say this is very much my speed when it comes to characters roaming around. I like the random spot of a character as opposed to standing in line to get my picture taken. So out on deck earlier, seeing Pluto just jogging by was incredible. We've seen Daisy walking around the ship, we've seen all kinds of characters walking around, so it's so much fun. But if you are the type of person who likes to meet the characters and wait in line, they seem to be out pretty much most of the day. There hasn't been any time we've been in the atrium where there hasn't been some characters out, so it's a really good opportunity to get all your character meet and greets done as well. Today's towel and bedding creation. We have an elephant wearing my sunglasses. Very cute. Well, we have just finished dinner, an animator's palette, which, given last night's shenanigans, makes it our first meal on board the Disney Fantasy. How was dinner?
Phenomenal.
Before we get into the food, let's talk about our serving team. So we did finally get to meet our servers, and each and every one of them were very, very kind about last night and about the fact that we had to leave dinner really before it had started. All of them were checking how I was feeling today. So they were all very, very nice. We have our server Harry and our assistant server Bandana, and we also got to meet the head server as well, who came around to check on us as well. So everyone was just so lovely and so attentive, and just making sure that we were happy with the speed of the service. Couldn't do enough for you, and that's what this cruise line is famous for, is the exceptional service from the staff, and I don't think there has been any member of the crew who has not lived up to that and then some. But let's talk about the food. What was starters first? Appetizers, we should say. We had in America, sort of in America.
We both had the prosciutto.
Yep, the famous black truffle prosciutto. Now, I will say this was not only the recommendation of our server, but this was the recommendation of just about everyone who's ever been on a Disney cruise ship ever. So it felt like that was predestined. Before we got to the restaurant, we couldn't possibly order anything except these black truffle prosciuttos. And probably something that was a little bit off my radar in terms of not something I would normally order, but I did want to try them, and they were delicious.
They were.
And a really good portion size as well. I was a little bit worried about Disney dining, that on the ship we would have these huge enormous portions of everything that I just would not be able to eat. Now, put down a bag of Doritos in front of me, I can eat my body weight in them, but proper actual food I would probably have struggled. But the portion sizes were absolutely perfect.
Yeah, there's only a couple of them, but with that cream of sauce as well, it was just the right amount.
Yeah, and it was quite light. I'm certainly not a foodie by any stretch of the imagination, so, but yeah, kind of light and flavourful is the best I can describe them. And you know I hate using that word, flavourful, awful word. And then onto our entrees. For mine, I deviated from what I had planned to order. I had planned to order the beef tenderloin. However, our server highly recommended the, and I'm going to read it off the script here, the lemon thyme marinated all natural chicken breast. He said that they did a really good job with the chicken at Animator's Palette. So I decided to go for that and take his recommendation. And I have to say, it was spot on. It was absolutely delicious. Chicken can be very hit or miss in a restaurant, as most people will know. It can turn out very dry, but this was, I will not use the other word that everybody hates, I will not use that word, but it was not dry, it was the opposite of that. And I was going to go for juicy there as well, but that's worse than moist. That's worse than moist. Like, there's no word that describes that that's not horrible in some way. The chicken was not dry, it was very flavourful, it had a lovely crust on it as well, and again the presentation, everything was just spectacular. And what did you have for your entree?
I had the panetti bolognese. It was nice, yeah, again, a nice size. It was not heavy, but it also came with a nice, very large chunk of garlic bread, which was just nice and crispy as well.
It did look good.
The sauce wasn't, as I said, it wasn't heavy, and it was just right.
And before we talk about dessert, I just want to also mention the bread. We had garlic and herb focaccia, I believe it was, and it came with butter as well as some rosemary oil, and that was just amazing. I probably could have filled up entirely on that bread, and Bandana did offer to bring us more, but I was very sensible and said, no, that's, we've had enough bread, I think, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to make it to dessert, which our server Harry did ask who was copying who. So I'm going to say this. Ross decided he was ordering the chocolate fudge cheesecake. I was not copying Ross, I was just simply taking the server's suggestion. What did you think of the cheesecake?
It was nice. It was nice. The base was hard and I couldn't really get through it, but the rest of it was very nice, and the whipped cream was just a small dollop, and I hope to never use the word dollop ever again. But yes, that was a nice wee compliment with it.
Yeah, we need to take a food seminar on this cruise so that we learn some different non-horrible ways to describe food, because I'm really not sure that we're selling Animator's Palette here, but the food was amazing. And the dessert, it was a recommendation of the server again, which is why I took that, and he did say that it was very rich, it was very decadent, and it was quite a heavy dessert. I
Yes.
didn't make it all the way through it, but again, it was very, very nice. I agree with Ross, it was quite tough in the base of it to get through it. Overall, the restaurant though, inside the restaurant is just my favourite thing about the ship so far. All the touches for all the Pixar stuff all around the restaurant. Crush from Finding Nemo was coming round the screens at all the tables, interacting with all the people dining. It was just pure Disney magic. And then there is an absolutely phenomenal mural of Sorcerer Mickey, my favourite, outside on the wall. So I would say absolutely 10 out of 10. And Ross has just shown me a picture. He's grabbed a picture of my other faves, the Toy Story aliens. And yeah, for me, 10 out of 10 experience.
I'd go above 10.
But
I know you really can't, but
and then, but Harry or Severy did challenges with a brain teaser involving crayons at the end, and between the lack of success at the brain teaser and the 8 out of 20 on the Marvel quiz earlier, my esteem has taken an absolute tumble. So to make up for that, we're now going to head down to the adult district, the 18 and over district.
and destroy some more brain cells.
Destroy some more brain cells. Now we're going to go down to the entertainment district. It is 18 and overs at this time of evening, and I think we're going to go a little bit of a tour around the ship. There is apparently an after party for formal night happening for all ages, and that's taking place at D Lounge. And after that, we're just going to take our wander round to the district to see what's happening down there. So we're going to head out for a little bit more just to see what's happening around the ship at this time of the evening. But we will probably end the vlog here, as we'll leave the camera behind and just go and do a little bit of exploring. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our first day at sea here on the Disney Fantasy. We have another full sea day ahead of us tomorrow. The captain has said that it is going to be another rocky day.
It's lightening up slightly, but yeah, it's still going to be rocky.
Yeah, so it's still going to be tumble dryer settings for tomorrow, so that'll be an interesting experience. And other than that, do the usual, hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new. We've got lots more Disney Cruise content coming up, we've got lots more Disney Parks content coming up, and other than that, we will see you on the next one. Bye!
Bye.